Hey everyone, this is the first reading I've done in a while. Um, I'm doing it a little bit differently than I have before. Um, I'm pulling the cards before I start the video and kind of interpreting them just so that I can try to get a clearer, more concise message, right? And I can actually go more in depth because I already know the basis of what's being talked about, right? Um, I have this deck. This is the guidebook for it, but I only pulled one card because this guidebook is like very in depth. I only pulled one card from it, but I wanted to start by actually reading part of this because it was very cool. And I think it speaks very well for the reading. Challenges in your life are a means to a greater end, catalyzing your readiness for an increased flow of grace and refining your abilities to handle higher levels of spiritual electricity and responsibility. Continue to engage in your process, recognizing that your limits are being tested. At the same time, take care and apply wisdom so that you navigate the line between breakdown and breakthrough. I like that line. This is a testing time with an extremely positive end in view. Embrace your power while surrendering into your wisdom. So, if this reading is for you, you're in a time of spiritual training, right? That's how I would describe it, spiritual training. I apologize for the ring light in the glasses. I'm going to take them off at some point. You're in a time of spiritual training, right? And the line between breakdown and breakthrough, right? As you're working with spiritual energies, it is possible to overwork yourself and experience burnout just like any other profession, right? It is about using, like wisdom, right, is about applied knowledge, right? Wisdom is knowing how to use knowledge. It's knowing how to use the things you've learned in a way that actually helps you, right? So you're in this time of spiritual training, right? Maybe you're developing your abilities, you're getting like upgrades to your chakra system. However you see spiritual upgrades, right? You're going through that experience. And it's a time of devotion and surrender to powers that are greater than you, right? It's a time of surrender to things beyond you. So to get into the rest of the reading, right, this card, the one that I just read, right, actually was at the very end of the reading, and it came close to summarizing the whole thing, right? It actually really did, which surprised me. I started out, and it's talking about this. It's talking about divination specifically, which is any form of divining information, right? Through spiritual means in this case, right? Okay, now's the time to take these off. It's about divining information, in this case, through spiritual means, right? Through pulling oracle cards, through there's water divination, rune casting, bone throwing, right? There's a ton of different there's a ton of different ways that people divine information from the spiritual realms, right? Through intuition, through channeling, right? Different methods. Whichever way you are doing it at the moment does not matter. The fact is that you're doing it, right? So this is, when I do these readings, right? This reading also hit home for me a little bit. But also I'm trying to keep it as general as I can, because I know it's for different kinds of people using different kinds of methods, right? So you're building your divination abilities, right? You're building this for whatever reason you're building it for, right? To increase your spiritual connection, to gain guidance on your own life, to be able to use this guidance to help others, whatever reason you are building it at this time. And some cards that came out, I use a Norse Oracle deck, which can come out with gods and goddesses, which have stories behind them, right? One that came out was Boulder. He is in Norse mythology, he is perfect, right? He is this embodiment of light, beauty, right? This radiant person. And he ends up dying, which sparks Ragnarok, which is the end times, right? Which then whatever, doesn't matter. The story of Boulder is talking about this light and radiance that you have within you, right? You have to, this openness, this trust, right? This openness, this grace, this light, you have to protect yourself, right? You can't do this openly, completely openly, without rooting yourself in things to nourish and protect you, right? Because whenever you find that radiance within yourself, there will always be people that want to snuff it out of you, right? People that aren't in that place of happiness within themselves, so they try to take it from you, right? With that, hold on. Without my glasses on, I have to actually lean over, which is one that came out also was a sigil of protection against theft, right? Which can be monetary, right? It's protection over the things that make you happy, that make you loved, right? Kind of clarifying the Boulder story, right? The Boulder card. You have to make sure while you're on this journey that you are protecting the things you love, right? That is the difference between breakdown and a breakthrough, right? You have to continue growing, but also protect what you currently have, right? Because when you grow, right, more things are attracted towards you. Better things are attracted towards you. More abundance is attracted towards you. But you have to nourish yourself and make sure you don't lose what you have, right? You don't lose what you already cherish in pursuit of those things, right? And then this card was talking about the actual connection between you and spirit that you're fostering, right? You're building your divination skills, and in that you're building your relationship to spirit, right? And maybe you're just having conversations with spirit, right? Maybe you're communicating more openly, right? And you're noticing signs and things in your life. You know, you're noticing more information coming your way towards the questions you ask or the things you talk about with spirit, right? Which is another form of divination, right? In a way. I took the energy, collective energy of people who would have benefited from this reading, who this reading is for, and the things that came out say that you're very devoted, right? That you are, in this time, being honest and vulnerable, and you are very clever also. Let me take a step back. You're honest, you're devoted, you're authoritative with what you are going towards in this moment, right? And you're diligently working towards this goal. And another one that came out talks about your cleverness, right? And maybe you're having to hide this from some people, this kind of journey you're on. Maybe you're having to hide it from them because you know they wouldn't understand, right? And there are pros and cons to doing that, right? I think at this point with this reading, if you are hiding this from people and you are questioning if you should, everything in this reading is saying you're doing great, right? Take that with your discernment, take that with whatever, ask your own guides, it sounds like you're doing divination, so ask your own questions as well, right? Don't make any impulsive or rash decisions, right? These videos are meant to give clarity and comfort and reassurance through this journey, right? It's not meant to give you all the answers, because I just can't do that, right? You have to find the answers in your own journey, and I only hope that what I say can help you get to those, right? Moving on with the reading. The next cards are talking more about that, right? Like, the card that came out specifically is Wise Decision, right? You are being applauded, right? Your spirit team is very happy with how you're handling things at the moment. They think you're doing a great job. And it's probably more than just your spirit team, right? It's probably, with the amount and the kind of energy here, I would think it's also ancestors. I would think it's also maybe passed on loved ones, right? People who are watching you on this journey and are just rooting you on, right? We have Don't Compromise as well, which leads me more to believe that you are on this path trying to better your life as well. Not only are you trying to better yourself, you're trying to better your position in life, right? You want more out of your life, and you are trying to move towards that. And what's coming out is, yes, absolutely keep doing that. You're working towards it. And the next card that came out is Blessing in Disguise, which is about trust, revelation, and surprise, right? What I get from that is Spirit has a surprise for you, right, at the end of this. Also mirrored by what this card said in the guidebook, right? At the end of this journey are great rewards, right? At the end of this spiritual training, there are great rewards to be reaped, right? Reaping what you sow. Right now, you're sowing some pretty good shit right now, all right? You're sowing that good shit. No half-ass crops here, all right? You're growing that good shit right now. And yeah, I think the overall message here is just you are growing spiritually, right? You're growing spiritually, and very broad notes here. You're growing spiritually, and you're doing it to first help yourself, but then also to, well, if you're trying to better your life, it is to help yourself, right? You're trying to help yourself grow and move into a better position in your life, right? And you're being backed up, right? You're being backed up by your spirit team, being backed up by your ancestors, you're being backed up by, you have this whole team of people supporting you, right? I'm I'm seeing, it's on this card as well, but I'm seeing like a crowd of people just clapping for you right now. Okay. Whatever you are doing right in this moment, it is gaining you a lot of favor in the spiritual realm, right? You are moving with grace, and you are doing what you need to do to help yourself, to grow yourself. You're doing the inner work, you're doing the shadow work, you're trying to be this beacon of light, right? Like the story of Boulder, you're trying to be this radiant being, right? You're trying to be this embodiment of perfection, which perfection isn't real, okay? Let's get that clear. Perfection isn't real, but I don't think perfect is a wrong word. I think it just means something different than it has been portrayed to be, right? Perfect would be the best version of yourself that you can be in that moment, right? And that doesn't mean without flaws. No. That means even like your actions are for the betterment of everyone and yourself, right? You're working from a space of pure intention, from a space of wanting the best for others and wanting the best for yourself, right? I think that is what perfection is, right? And I mean, there's a ton of things that we talk about, right? A lot of songs like your perfect imperfections, right? Your scars make you beautiful. And I agree with that sentiment a lot. And I think there are these unrealistic standards that we hold ourselves to, and that, you know, is kind of formed onto us from a societal standpoint, right? We're always shown these beautiful supermodels, both men and women, these like crazy bodybuilder type people, right? And it can make you feel like you have to get there, right? It can make you feel like if I'm not that, I'm not attractive, right? If I'm not that, I'm not ever going to get the person I love, or I'm not going to be able to attract the person I love, or whatever, right? It can make you have a lot of self-image issues. It can make you worry a lot about how you show up in the world. And then not even that, right? You watch shows and these actors, right, portraying these characters like full of wit and charisma, and these like perfect scripted played out scenes, right? And you're like, oh, I'm not that witty, I can't do that, I can't just pull that up in a conversation, and you start downing yourself because of that as well. And that isn't fair either, right? We all have our unique personalities and quirks, and ways that we talk, and ways that our humor manifests itself, and our mannerisms, and it's all a very complex web created from our lives, right? The people we've interacted with, the situations we've been in, yada yada, etc., right? Don't let those things keep you from thinking you're fucking awesome. Don't let those things stop you from thinking you're fucking awesome. Because you know what? I don't care who you are. Wait, where's the actual camera bit? It's like there. Yeah. You right there. I think you're awesome. I think you're awesome. All right. And you better think it too. Yeah, get there. You'll believe it at some point. You'll get there. If you're not already there. If you're not already there. From this reading, right, at the very least, you believe in your ability to better yourself. Which, that in itself, that belief in yourself is inspiring, right? Because not everyone has that. Not everyone has that. And that is inspiring in itself. So, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to leave this one here. Got a little bit of ways from the reading there, but I think everything's for a reason, right? If someone, after I started going off on that tangent, clicked off the video, I have a feeling they were supposed to, right? Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope this helped you, and see you next time.